There's a great TED talk by Sean Achor on this topic called The Happy Secret to Better Work. Recommend it, it's a good watch. One of the things that it talks about is that there's 6 ways that you can easily increase your happiness. The first one of these is just awareness. Asking yourself on a regular basis, how happy am I on a scale of 1 to 10? The second thing, 3 gratitudes. Taking a moment each day to figure out what you're grateful for. You see, I'm going to draw something. You've got to tell me what you see. What's that? What do you see? A dot. Good. What else do you see? Sorry? The rest of it. See, the thing is, we always focus on the black spot, the thing where we don't have what we want. We start comparing ourselves to others. Well, my neighbour's got a Jaguar and I'm driving a Ford. Gee, I must be a failure. Very often our wealth is in forms that we haven't recognised. If I was to say to you, Mark, Mark might be sitting there saying, well, it's all very well for you to say that, Jeremy, but I don't have enough money. I'm not going to be a success until I have $1 million in the bank. If I was to say to you right now, Mark, I'll give you $1 million for your eyes. Would you give me your eyes right now? All right. I'm in a pretty good mood. 1 leg. A hand. All right, so you've got your wealth, it's just in a different form. And it's easier to focus on the black spot, what we haven't got, and forget about all this amazing stuff we have got. The people in our lives, our health, the opportunities, the fact we live in the greatest country in the world. Find 3 things a day to be grateful for. It'll immediately make you feel more happy. Journaling. Take a bit of time to decompress from the day. Exercise. If you can't, then you must. Do I wake up in the morning saying, yippee, it's 5 a.m, I can't wait to go for an 18-kilometre run? No. Do I come up with all sorts of excuses? Absolutely. But do I know that I'm always going to feel better on the other side? So that's why I do exercise. Accountability, that's why I register for marathons. If I put some money down and I've got a date in the diary, I'll actually be focused in my training because I believe I'm a pretty lazy sort of person. Without accountability, I'll never stretch myself. Meditation sends me to sleep personally. It works for some people. I actually more meditate while I run. Random acts of kindness. What could you do for someone who could not possibly say thank you? All of those things will make you feel better about yourself, and the ripple effect. It's amazing what you put out and how it comes back. So, in closing, I wanted to share with you a thought from the late Maya Angelou. And she was quoted as saying, people will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they'll never ever forget how you made them feel. And one of the things to ask yourself is, do the people around me, when I come into their lives, do I make them feel like they're capable of great things? Like they're worthy? You see, most people are sitting there waiting to be told by someone else how good they are. But as managers, what happens? We focus on all the things that they're doing wrong. See, it's our job as leaders to see the leadership potential in ourselves and the people around us, and to say to people, I can see a great future for you. I know you can go far. I believe in you. I'm behind you 100%. But it's about leading by example. If you're not working on growing yourself, then your team won't grow either. At the end of the day, you get the team that you deserve. So if you enjoyed some of what we do today, we work a lot with organisations. We do on-site training. We also do some one-on-one consulting and coaching. And we also have public courses. So Steve mentioned we have a 2.5-day leadership boot camp. That's we run about every 2 to 3 months. That's only for brave individuals who want to be pushed outside their comfort zones. We average about 9.6 out of 10 for the feedback on those boot camps, but they're designed to be challenging, and they're designed to be challenging for a reason. If you're a sailor and you never leave the harbour, if you don't take the time to know yourself in stormy seas, you're never going to be a great leader. On your tables, there's actually a entry form. So we're going to do a draw before I leave of a $500 voucher that you can use for any of our consulting or training services, or pass on to someone else you know who you want to invest in as a leader. My title, CEO, is leadership about a title? Absolutely not. For me, CEO is Chief Enthusiasm Officer. I came here today to be aligned with my mission, which is to inspire and educate people to be amazing leaders and to lead amazing lives. I said at the beginning it was going to be a workshop. The goal was for me to have fun and you do some work. Did you do some work? I want you to all put your hands together for the wonderful people in this room who contributed their stories to making this a great session. And thank you so much, and thank you, Steve, so much for having the opportunity to be here today.
Wonderful. It was a pleasure. Guys, put your hands together for Jeremy Carter. Great job. Thank you so much, mate. That was excellent. Guys, do you have any questions before Jeremy leaves the stage that you want to ask him about his 2 sessions?
The harder the better. Here's one of the things that's really important to understand. How open are you to receiving feedback? There's a company I know in the US, they have an annual general meeting. All the employees are invited. They put $1,500 in cash on the table. The $1,500 goes to the person who asks the hardest question of the management.
All right. So I'm not going to put $1,500 on the table. So I don't know if that was a prompt or not, but yeah. Who wants to ask a tough question? Put it on the table. Yes.
So this is the nature versus nurture. I'm 100%. How long have we got? We got a couple of minutes?
Couple of minutes.
All right. So when you ask, well, what's a great leader? It's about taking the actions and saying the right things at the right times to actually get the outcomes that we're looking for. So there's behavior. What drives behavior? Next level down. Most important thing, it's about the skills that we've acquired, because we all like to do stuff that we're good at. What is it that makes us decide to pick up some skills over others? What do you reckon? Sorry? Beliefs. Things that we hold to be true. I'm good at maths. If I'm good at maths, do you think I'm going to do lots of reading at maths, pick up more skills in maths, and show up good in maths? What's the next level down? Values. Things you hold to be most important to you. Where you spend your money, where you spend your time, what you spend your energy on, and how you fill your space. But the real question is, who are you? These are all the words that you say to yourself after the words I am. So what is it that creates a great leader? You've got to understand that people are like icebergs. It wasn't what was above the water that sank the Titanic, was it? You know, we see how they show up, we see how they dress, we see how they talk, and we think we know them. And then one day, the iceberg rolls over and it's like, my God, where did that person come from? So one of the things to understand is what shapes us more than anything else is actually the environment. And for most of us, that's our first 7 years of life. The messages that our parents say to us. Before 7 years, we haven't got a critical gatekeeper. What people say goes straight in. You're stupid, you're dumb, you're an idiot, you'll never do that. And all this stuff gets trapped in the who we are. So for me, it's about the environment in which people are brought up in. It's about them being given the right messages at the early stage to give them the belief, to give them the focus on developing more skills to be a great leader. My belief is anyone can be a great leader, but what it takes heart to be clear on your purpose, and it takes vision to understand where you're going, and the courage to step up and to do what needs to be done. To remove yourself from the environment of people who say, well, you can't do that, Steve. You're crazy starting a boot camp down here in Wollongong. Do you know how small Wollongong is? Mate, it's been done before. And that's the beautiful thing to understand as well. Here's the thing. Some of the most successful people I know came from alcoholic families, broken homes, were beaten as kids. Someone who told them, you'll never do it. You know, Justin Herald, Attitude Designs, his thing was at church, someone laughed at him and said, you can never do this, so just to prove it wrong. No, she said to him, you've got a bad attitude. So he went and printed these T-shirts with attitude on it, sold it to all his mates, and eventually it became a $25 million company. See, some of those things that happen to us we might perceive as negative. One of the things to understand is that you've got the opportunity to reframe those experiences that have happened to you in the past and to not just look at the negative, but to understand very often it's what's made you who you are. And if you draw on those experiences and you be real and authentic and vulnerable with your team, stop pretending to be a superhero, you'll get real engagement and people will want to be around you.
Excellent, Maury. Does that sound all right? Perfect. All right, guys. Big hand of applause for Jeremy Carter.